Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Arr. Greeting, salutation, and welcome. Hello, replay crew, as you're probably the only people here right now. Yes, we are back. Let's get my drink opened. Have a swig, because it's blooming hot. And set fire to something I'm going to hold in my hand. Howdy, prodigal. How you diddling? I'm just aware that sentence probably doesn't translate into any other version of English. How are you? Yeah, so I bloody fine. Yes, I'm okay. Hot, bothered, sweaty, but otherwise okay. Yeah. Welcome to summertime in the UK, where the heat just hits different. And it's not just us being soft about being hot. Apparently, people from other countries that are living in the UK and experiencing a heat wave in the UK for the first time are like, oh my God, why is it so hot? The temperature it's not reading that warm, but why does it feel like an oven? Because it's the UK in summer. We do heat differently. I think it's probably something to do with all the insulation and yeah. When it hits 30, all of these channels start quoting the temps in Fahrenheit. Yes, because yes, then you start getting into scary high numbers, and it gets near 100, and it's like, oh. Except for a couple of years ago when it got to 42 here, and they were saying it's 42 degrees. Well, they were saying it hit 40 degrees, and I'm sitting there looking at the thermometer going, it's 42. Although weirdly, that didn't feel quite as hot as it has done lately. That's because it had been so hot for so long, everything was so dry, there was zero humidity. And that was Mary and I went and filmed a couple of videos at local churches and walking around the churchyard, and the grass is crunching underfoot. Now, I'm kind of used to grass crunching underfoot, but that's normally because it's frozen. Not because it's so dry, it's just basically turned into kindling. Yeah. Anyway, so I've spent most of the week trying to avoid getting too hot and failing. How you doing, Sammy? Good to see you, my friend. Yes, yeah, it's been one of them weeks. It started out great because I had a long weekend, 4-day weekend. But yeah, then more work. And I'm currently in the middle of working 7 days out of 8, and this is my 1 day off. Typical to be at the hottest point of the year so far, but you know, these things happen. at least we have aircon at work, and I have finally taught people that for the aircon to work, you need to keep the door shut and turn the ceiling fans off. And there seems to be this thing of, I'll just open the doors to get some fresh air. You're letting the cold out and you're letting the heat in. Oh, put the ceiling fans on, make a nice breeze. No, it'll blow all the hot air from up the top of the building to the bottom. That's all it'll do. Basic middle school physics. But, you know. But then one of my colleagues didn't like school because they treat you like children. Hate to break it to you, dude, but we were children when we were at school. It's kind of the point. But I think he peaked in middle school, so there we go. So other than grumbling about the weather, what have I been up to this week? Water changes, work. Plenty of cave time. Well, at the start of the week, it's been reducing later in the week because it's been too bloody hot up there. I did finish the castle, the cardboard castle, which if you saw the video I put up the other day, you'd have seen it. I also finished the Book Nook kit that Mary got me for Father's Day. Good fun. Nothing too taxing and everything just clips together. Even the electrics are fairly simple. Well, you just wrap all the black wires together and put some tape around it, and then wrap all the red wires together and put some tape around them, and yeah. Even I didn't bother soldering it. It's running 2 LEDs. Yeah, it looks cool. Not necessarily the one I might have gone for, but yeah. It's a little greenhouse. So if I put my pipe down, I'll pick it up. Oh, God. Is it just over here? Oof. I've got to be a bit careful because it's not the most robust of things. Get that somewhere near the camera, somewhere near level. And then if we turn it on, look, where's the button? And you've got 2 little lights in there. Very cool. Should have 2 little lights. For some reason, that one's not working. Come on, turn off. Okay. Probably broken wire. There we are. I'm going to blame the heat. But yeah, so got the castle built. That's still upstairs. Made a start on another figure. And a 1/48 scale Messerschmitt BF 109, which took me about 5 hours to build. Well, I started it Monday, and as of now, it's got most of the base painting done. I've just got to do the yellow on the chin and the blue band on the tail. Oh, pardon me. And then that's pretty much most of the painting done. It's just like paint the wheels or paint the tires tire black, and paint the gun barrels gunmetal, and we're pretty much done. And then it's time for decals, and then weathering. So I'll probably just do a panel liner wash, nothing too spectacular. Just to pick out the rivets and the panel lines. Just make it pop a little more. Fish wise, got some more baby Amicus Splendens, and I did stick a longfin super red female in with Doug, the lemon blue eye male. So hopefully get some breedy going on in there and see what comes out. Probably be some weird mix, either a weird mix or they'll just come out as common black ones. Be one or the other. What else? I've been watching the Nordschleife 24-hour race. Got a couple of hours left of that to go. Yeah, other than that, just trying to not be too hot mostly. Because the model cave is upstairs in the hottest room in the house. And when I went up there last night after work, it was 35.6 degrees. Yeah, very sweaty. And yeah, that causes problems as well, because when you're trying to paint or use an airbrush, the paint dries on the brush, or it dries before it gets to the model and gums up the airbrush and is an absolute nightmare. So I don't recommend it. So to counter that, I used alcohol-based paints for the rest of the Messerschmitt. They may not be technically quite the correct shades of grey, but F it. Close enough for me. And I didn't want to be sitting there stopping every 5 seconds to get rid of the tip dry on the needle, and then every 5 minutes cleaning the airbrush out because it's all just dried up inside the nozzle because it's too darn hot, man. But yeah, that's enough grumbling. What's everybody else been up to this week? Because most of the week has been complaining about the weather and selling air conditioning units and fans at work. Ridiculous amounts. We sold out completely last week. We got a full restock in on Tuesday, and we're completely sold out again. I sold 4 portable air conditioners myself. Howdy, righty. Unsticking my balls from the ankles all week. Yeah, that's one way of putting it, but yeah, exactly. Yeah. Trying to figure out if I can help an egg-bound black neon, etc. out a predicament. I mean, if you can catch her, I suppose literally all you could do is give her a little squeeze, maybe, or Epsom salt might do the trick, because it might pull enough moisture out of the eggs for them to shrink a bit and they'll come out. I'm not sure if that's what it gets used for generally. God, I've had that a while. Is there a date on these? best before November 2022. The giveaway that the label has completely faded. Ugh. I think I used like 1 spoonful of it to try and help something with bloat, and it didn't work. And I found out that even if you do manage to fix the bloat, it's usually something systemic gone wrong inside the fish, and all you're doing is prolonging things a little bit. Garden's been looking mighty fine. Everything's been doing really well. Lots of floweries, plants all growing. And then attack of the aphids. So, yeah. I started noticing a few on the lupins. I was like, okay, not a problem. Now we'll get round to sorting that. And because of the weather, they bred like crazy. And Tuesday when I came home from work, previous Thursday and the Tuesday when I cycled home from work, I was cycling through clouds of the damn things, basically the whole way. I don't want to know how many I swallowed, how many I inhaled, because I was covered in them by the time I got home. But yeah, they found the lupins and they basically killed 2 of them. I did get a spray and I have sprayed them, so it has killed what was there. I think most of it. There's the odd one I can see, but not many. And I did a precautionary spray of the one that hasn't been affected. Yeah. I'll keep watering them, leave them where they are, and they might come back again. You never know. The 2 box bushes out the front, they got attacked by box moth earlier in the year, May time, I think. They've both got plenty of new growth coming from again. That was something falling over upstairs or next door. Don't know if that came through on the audio. I'm going to guess it's probably the sign off the man cave door. Whatever it is. Or it's a bottle of thinners exploding or something like that. I'd probably best go check, hadn't I, really? Back in a moment. Ugh. As I thought, it was the Nightwish sign falling off of the man cave door. I'm guessing the blue tack's got a bit hot and sort of melted. Yeah. So other than the 2 lupins, the garden is looking good. Even the cheap plants I got that were on ridiculously low price sale because they were basically dying. The heuchera is doing great. That's chucked out a load of new leaves. The achillea has got plenty of new growth on it. And the other one that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head, it's struggling on. Howdy, Brian. Next one will be at some point. So there's not really a lot to report at the moment. It's just stuff growing. The pond needs topping up badly, but if we do get the rain or dew this week, it might do it automatically. Yeah, everything out there's doing well. The gnome Gaylord is doing his job. He's scaring off cats and stuff. Petunias are all doing amazing. You know, biggest petunias I've ever seen. Well, for my garden anyway. I've seen ridiculously huge ones in hanging baskets where people are watering and feeding them 3 times a day. But considering mine get watered twice a week, maybe 3 times. And admittedly, the water they get, most of that is fish tank water. So there's plenty of nitrates and pleco poop in it. So plenty of food in there for them. I think what I'll probably do this autumn is I'll probably just get a bucket of chicken manure pellets and spread them about liberally. So at least then the rain and frosts and stuffs can break them down and the worms will work them into the soil. Yeah, I mean, most of the plants I've bought for my garden have come from QD and Cherry Lane Garden Centre or Lidl. So they're not expensive. You know, I've not gone out and bought 20, 30, 40 pound potted plants and put them out there. I think the most expensive was £12. That was for the pink cordyline, which is quite a good size when I got it. Yep, B&M and the range, yep, did both of them. Yeah. Garden centres are usually overpriced. But Cherry Lane Garden Centres, if you got one close, because they're owned by the same people who own QD, so all the stuff in there is the same. And they grow their own plants as well. Or we've got a few garden centres around here that the only ones I've really bought anything from, a couple from Thetford. So the rest from Cherry Lane and a couple from Wyndham. And again, they're all locally grown plants as well. So went to Scope the other week, first time. I've not been to Scope. Obviously, it's a long way away. I don't think. Yeah, it is the one. Yeah. I haven't been in a fish shop for a long time. Yeah. Been several months. Probably overdue a visit. Did a video on it. Scope. Is that the one in... Where would that be? Somewhere down in... Oh, is that the one on... Oh, not near... I'm going to say near Ipswich because I don't know Suffolk that well. Yeah, Suffolk. Henley. Yeah, I know the one. Young, run by a relatively young lad to an old fart like me, anyway. Yeah, it was a good little shop, but fair old trek from north of Thetford. There was a nice little one in Dis for a while, and that shut down as well. Only 15 minutes from you, and it's the first time you went there. Well, you're just not aware it was there, and then, hang on. Yeah, we all do it. there will be a shop that's fairly local to us that we've got absolutely no idea about. Yeah, yeah. There's probably like a local craft shop that sells like all the paper crafting gear and paper model kits, and I just don't know it's there. Although model shops are getting very rare these days. Pardon me. And even Hobbycraft's on its way out. But that's what you get for selling overpriced stuff. And they make out they're cheap and they're not. I mean, the prices aren't bad on the model kits. It's just all the model kits they sell are the out of date ones. And the reason they can get them and sell them cheaper is because nobody else wants to buy them. Because, you know, okay, there's the vintage Airfix kits. There's a bit of a market there for people wanting to relive what they built as a child, or they're really stuck in the mud and like the old kits that look horrible and fit badly. And yeah, people who want to enjoy building and have a simple and pleasurable experience building a model, like the BF109 I just built. Literally no filler, no fit issues at all. Everything just fit perfectly. Yeah, it was, it was up there with the Tamiya one actually for fit quality, maybe even better. Um, yeah, kicks the Airfix one into a cocked hat, and not that much more expensive either, considering it came with a whole load of photo etch as well, and decent decals and about 5 different marking options. Yeah, if you're going to do it, don't buy Airfix. Or Revel, or Revel, whatever you want to call them, or Italeri. Basically, the brands you generally see in most model shops are the ones to generally avoid. Some of the new Airfix kits are okay, but the detail is still very clunky on them. Yeah, the old joke still rings true. They got panel lines you could fly an X-wing down, meaning they look like the surface of the Death Star. Uh, Although, as I say, I've got to say the figures at least and the paper models I've got from that Chinese seller, um, the one that Northerners called Emu. Um, yeah, I can't grumble about the quality of any of it. I mean, it's good quality and sensible prices. I've had far worse figures come from big name manufacturers. Ones that look. Again, the old joke is got a face like a melted welly. Uh, yeah, but again, those molds are probably from the 50s or 60s, and yeah, they just no, stop reselling the molds to other manufacturers. Just throw them in the bin, recycle them. They're just not worth it. And that's one of my biggest bugbears about scale models. all the ones that are sold as starter kits, now the ones come in a little box, they come with a paintbrush, the glue, and some paints. They're basically all absolutely ancient and god awful kits. And half the time the paint's dried up, the brushes had it before you opened it. And it's like, you wonder why modelling is dying off? Maybe it's because people are getting bought one of them and they're like, oh my God, this is horrific. They're not enjoying building their first model. If you enjoy it, you'll come back to it. If you don't enjoy it, you won't. Which is why Gundam, or the fighty robot-y things, are doing so well. Because they're easy and fun to build. They snap together. They fit perfectly. And they're, well, I won't say they're cheap, but there are different pricing options for many different levels of model and scales and sizes and all sorts. So if you only want to spend £15 on one, you can buy one for £15. If you want to spend 150 on it, you can. Oh, pardon me. I've had wind all day today. I don't know why. Probably the heat. Usually, if it's hot, it does play havoc with my digestive system. Yeah. I did have the new paint rack and paintbrush rack turn up this week. So I spent a while sorting through all my paints. I've not done it like by shade and hue perfectly. Like, here's the primary colours, here's the metallics, here's the greens, here's the browns, here's the greys, because I've got lots of military colours. And this is just the water-based acrylic airbrush paints. And I've got 30 shades of grey. Yeah, not including pigments, washes, pastels. Watercolors, oils. So might be getting on for 50 shades of grey, quite literally. But yeah, there's several hundred little pots of paint up there. Exactly. I'm basically working on a scale version of B&Q. I've even got like 4 shades of white. And I'm shade blind, so I can't tell the bloody difference. Yeah. And as most of the paints are made by Spanish manufacturers, all the black ones are really offensive, apparently. Because they had the Spanish word for black printed on them, which people take as a racist thing. Well, had another Temu order turn up as well with the things building paint wise. There's a resin figure of Athena, a paper model of HMS Belfast, although I might have to get a few upgrade parts for that, and a paper model of a Polish tractor because it just looked interesting. Hello, hello. There's the G-man himself. How you doing, Graham? Graham, sorry. Yeah, you're still up there. Towel still gets used as well. Sweating. Oh yeah. I'm definitely doing the sweaties as well. And you beat me to it. I got some filters and stuff from Temu, and I was going to do a video on, but you pretty much covered that. Yeah, I've been using them for some fishy stuffs and modelling stuffs. Actually, I have got one thing I did get from them down here. Oh, let me grab it. Cream cool plastic bag. Oh no, getting my shorts caught around the arm of my chair. Ugh. One bag of 10 catappa leaves. Pretty big, pretty intact. 98 pence. It does make you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, the reason they're that cheap is we're just cutting out all the middlemen, aren't we? If you buy direct from China, you're not paying a transshipper, a wholesaler, the person at the end of the line selling it, the shop, and all the people in between who handle it, and all the people who need to be paid. You're literally just paying the person that made it at the start, and a small warehousing fee. But yeah, and so I've not had anything from there yet that I'm like, oh my god, that's awful. I had things where I'm like, yeah, there's a reason that's only that much. But as you said in your video, Graham, because I did watch it, make sure you pay attention to the post. Read the stuffs. Look at all the pictures. There's some, I'm not saying it's false advertising, but there are some things which are slightly misleading, shall we say. It's like they don't quite understand the D of dimensions. For example, model kits they will call 4D, and something that we might call 2D they will call 3D. I think that's just something lost in translation more than anything. But yeah, as long as you read what it says, usually there's actual sizes on there. They're usually fairly accurate. But you do have to remember they measure things in metric, in centimeters, not in inches. There's a lot of the Temu fail videos I've seen. Is a lot of people getting something they've ordered and it's a lot smaller than they thought it was going to be. Turns out they're Americans and they thought it was going to be in inches because they didn't read it. Or they thought they were actually going to get a sofa for $5. And it turns out it was a doll's house sofa. Yeah, because they didn't read. Yeah, I mean, I'll say something about an aquarium filter, as long as it's roughly about right, it's good enough, really, isn't it? Something like a model kit, you kind of need to know a bit more accurately how big things are, but yeah, I'll say trying to think of anything I've got. There's nothing I've bought that's just gone straight in the bin. Um, I mean, even the trainers that were like 12 quid. Because they're cheap, they're very light, and they're very loose knit upper, which means they're really nice to wear in really hot weather. Because when your feet get hot and sweat, it actually evaporates out. And when you're on a bike, the wind blows through them nicely as well. Um, Certainly better than having to wear steelies like I have to at work in this weather. I feel sorry for anyone who has to walk past my locker because they're going to get a whiff of my feet no matter what happens. Yeah, as I say, it's and all the sort of I say Chinese sellers, they're not necessarily all Chinese, but you've got your Temu, your Alibaba, your AliExpress, Shein, Wish. It's all basically the same stuff, and you know, yes, you get what you pay for in some things, but other things you can get a really good bargain on, like the Katapa leaves. The box filter I've got, the box filter runs in that corner there, getting a bit old. I thought, well, I'll order one from Emu. I've got it as well. I think I've got it as one of my 6 free gifts. Yeah, it's exactly the same bloody filter that I paid about a tenner for off of Amazon. it's, it's like, what? Why? Oh, we know why, because everyone has to have their cut of the pie, don't they? But yeah, it's why my LFS sells super red plecos for less than most of the other ones do. Because the person they're buying them from breeds them locally. And they haven't got to pay the original breeder, the shipper, the warehousing, the wholesaler, the person who ships it from the wholesaler to them. They literally got to pay the person who bred and fed them and brought them to them in a bag, ready to just drop straight into their tanks because the fish are used to the exact same water parameters. Yeah. You cut out all the middlemen, or middle women, or whoever you middle Mrs. Whatever the third one is. Yeah, things get a lot cheaper. And my LFS decides that we're going to pass our saving on to our customer, and therefore we sell a lot more super reds than any of the other local fish stores. Actually, Graham, you might know what happens when you cross a lemon blue eye bristlenose with a longfin super red. I'm guessing there's going to be all sorts of mutts come out of that mixture, but there might be something cool. So it's either going to be all sorts of mutts, something cool, or just common bristlenoses. Who knows how the genetics are going to work? And it probably varies on what the genetics of the individual fish are as well. Oh, don't tell me I'm down in just ash again already. Should I give up and just smoke a ciggy instead? Yeah, I think I am pretty much down to ash. There is still some tobacco at the bottom of the bowl. But yeah, anyone from Temu, if you're actually happening to be watching this, I will quite happily take aquarium, fish keeping, or modelling, scale modelling, paper modelling stuff for video review and build and use. You know, I'm open to that idea. Uh, I will, however, be honest. But then I get the sense that they want honest reviews. Unlike some who want amazing reviews for every product. That aquarium brand that begins with H and rhymes with a word that we're not allowed to say. You know, the one that wants basically does paid for reviews, which is actually illegal over here. Yeah, I'm all for being sent freebies, but just said freebies will get an honest review from me. I'm sorry, but my name and my reputation mean more to me than your business does. Yeah. Not that a podunk little channel like mine is going to make any difference to a business. Ooh, pardon me. Yeah, so what else have we got we can ramble on about? I think I'm going to keep it a bit shorter this week again because too darn hot, man. I'm sweating like Jimmy Savile at a playgroup. Or a priest at a strip club. Or a vegan at a steakhouse. Probably the more politically correct version of that saying. I'm trying not to go for the one that we used to use when I was younger. Oh dear, definitely getting windy. Inside and out. Yeah, the overcast and the cloud is clearing now, unfortunately, but as the sun's starting to drop and the temperature's starting to drop, that should mean it cools down nicely overnight. So I should get a decent night's sleep, providing I don't wake myself up with wind. Um, and then it's back to water changes and work, and then water changes and work, and shopping and work. I think Thursday I might not have anything to do in the morning, so it'll just be work. But then I've got a week off next week, so I can't really complain. Well, I can. I'm English, of course I'm going to complain. Yeah. What else? What else is there I can waffle about? Come on, somebody. Think of something for me to waffle about for a while. Um, literally most of the week has been spent going, oh, too hot. Or sticking together bits of plastic or wiping paint on bits of plastic. Actually, I don't even think the figures I'm painting I can show on YouTube because they're probably considered not safe for work these days. Probably get restricted monetization because cleavage or butt cheek. Or someone will claim copyright for using their image. Well, actually, no. I think Yvonne De Carlo's dead now. Not that I'm laughing about that fact. She played Lily Munster in the TV series, and that's one of the figures I painted. Where is she? I think she's in front of the TV. What else we got? What else? It's hot. It's miserable. Um, I've got wind. Want to go up to the man cave and do some modelling, but it's too darn hot up there. As I was saying earlier, the paint is drying before I can get it on the model, so that's usually a sign to not bother. Although I am getting close to finishing the figure, so that might be something to do. So I'm using a wet palette for the paint, so the paint shouldn't dry out too quickly. And I might do a new and improved cave tour if I manage to sort the rest of it out. I'm going to have to find something else to cover the other table because the old Sabutio picture is not doing it. Probably end up buying another roll of brown paper and using that. It works well. And yeah. And a kitchen roll holder. That's something I need for up there. Now I've actually got room on the bench to put one. Feels weird. I just put a massive great paint rack on there and a paintbrush rack, but it's saved a lot of space. Yeah. I'll probably get rid of that old desk lamp. That's the other thing I need to get. I'm going to grab a pen and a bit of paper and write these down so I don't forget. shopping list time. So it was IPA, isopropyl alcohol, not beer, kitchen roll holder, brown paper, cone spanners. I know I need some of them as well. Anything else we can think of that might be needed for a modelling cave that I don't already have. Bear in mind, I don't need excessive amounts of light, as I find if I have too much light, I can't see what I'm doing. I've got all the paint storage, brush storage, everything else is put away, tidied. Yeah, I think that's about all I need. Result. And these will probably all be coming from Amazon rather than Temu, because I'm pretty sure they're not going to be shipping a litre of isopropyl alcohol via airmail and stuff like, yeah, the rest of it ain't expensive at the best of times anyway, so I'll do. Ugh. Unless there's anything either of you can think of. What else we got? Ooh, yeah, definitely running out of things to talk about. Oh yeah, I was going to look into also turning this Fluval Flex here into a salty tank. Are you trying to do the breedies with her already? Oh. And there goes the air ambulance. So I'm guessing someone has had an accident somewhere again. Don't tell me my pipe light has run out again. It has. So we'll have to risk burning my thumb instead. Yeah, that's the air ambulance looking for somewhere to land. Unfortunately, not going to find anywhere in the middle of Attleborough. What little open spaces there are tend to have power lines running across them. Well, that didn't stay alight for long, did it? What else we got? What else we got? Must be something else I can rattle on about for a bit. Come on. Come on, Sharpe. There must be something you can talk about. Or am I going to be doing an hour and calling it there? Get this relit and have a think. He's definitely flying laps, trying to find somewhere to land. I'm sure I'll find out what it was all about later. More than likely someone with heat stroke or something like that. Anyway, as it's been very quiet this evening, and I'm far too hot, and I've run out of stuffs to talk about. Hopefully, I'll have more stuffs to talk about next week. I shall call it there. So thank you to those who have been here for being here. Have a good week. Try not to get too hot. It should be calming down or cooling down roughly around Wednesday this week, I think. So yay. But yeah, sorry for the short one, but I'm sure you understand why. Driving in at the DP. Have a good one, everyone. Stay safe. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. It's too hot to do 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 do. It's too hot to do 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 do. It's too hot to do do.